The internet spends a lot of time debating what women want. But let's take a look at what relationship research actually finds. So sometimes I'll read comments like, do women only want tall, rich guys? Or do nice guys ever win? And a million other comments. But first of all, let me just go with the nice guys thing. So, nice guys, what we're talking about these days is sort of the comparison between nice guy and kind guy. What's the difference between being nice, and being kind? And is there a difference? Generally, I would say the difference is uh, nice could be something you're pretending to be. So you're being nice because maybe if you think if you be nice, then she'll like you, or if you be nice, then you'll get the thing you want. So you're being nice to get something. Could be from women, could be from men, but you're being nice in order to get something. Whereas being kind is kind of a whole different thing. It's being uh, kind, considerate to everyone, just because that's the kind of person you are, not because you think you're going to get something out of it, other than it feels good to be kind to people. So maybe nice is something that's more manipulative, and kind is more of a something that's endogenous to you. It tends to be who you are, regardless of whether you outwardly benefit from it. So let's kind of use that as a definition. All right, so across many studies, women consistently rate qualities like, and we're just going to read them, qualities like, well, kindness, emotional stability, trustworthiness, dependability, and mutual respect as highly important for long-term partners. That's what I'm hearing as well. A lot of times, I would also add, when I've done these interviews, again, they're like 2 or 3 hour interviews with attractive, successful women. I've done hundreds and hundreds of these interviews, and they're saying those things. They're also saying a lot of things like be outgoing. The caveat is they don't necessarily mean be extroverted, although sometimes they'll say be extroverted, be fun, outgoing, extroverted. What I usually find is in their past relationships, usually the last one, the guy just didn't want to do anything. So maybe she was a little more outgoing in that she wanted to go out and do things. And maybe more and more he didn't. And so she's just walking around with that in her mind, that she definitely doesn't want this trait that her last relationship had. So that's a common thing as well. But these other things are very important. Yes, physical attractiveness matters, but it's basically a much broader picture than just how the guy looks. In fact, when I do these interviews, when they say, "Oh, I want a guy who's attractive," I kind of dismiss that, because what does that even mean? Unless they give you very clear things, and even then, the only clear things could be maybe they name an ethnicity or a specific height. I also find these to be malleable, because if you present them as somebody who's maybe outside of an ethnicity they say they're attracted to, but they're attracted to this person, or you maybe show someone who isn't quite the height they were looking for, but they find them attractive, or you look at the people they've dated in the past who weren't always 6'2" or 3 or 4 or 6 foot even, or whatever it is, they were shorter than that. It's like, really? Was that the reason why the relationship didn't work? Because he wasn't a certain height? So I feel that all these are sort of malleable, flexible to some degree, but this is what they're saying. So why does this happen? Why when we're looking at what women say matter in a long-term relationship? Why is this? Why does this actually happen? Online discussions often magnify extreme viewpoints. So that's when you get like, oh, well, 90% of the women are going for 10% of the men, because they want men who are 6 feet or taller and make 100K per year or more. Is it true? Who are they asking? What are the details? And it still leaves, even if it were true, that leaves a lot of women who are open to something else. And I would bet if those women who say they're only interested in, those two qualities or whatever, at least those two qualities, if they met a man who wasn't that, but they had a spark, then all bets are off and it doesn't matter. So it's the difference between what they're saying and what they actually are open to. And then viral content is not the same as a representative evidence in that, again, whatever is getting a lot of traction online doesn't mean that that's what's happening in the real world. And I always encourage you, when you see an attractive woman for you, notice who she's with. If she's with somebody, notice who she's with and say, oh, is he equally attractive in your opinion? And if he's not, don't automatically go, oh, then he must be rich. Because you don't know that. Not everybody's rich. So just have the belief that gives you, that basically have the belief that supports you rather than the belief that takes away your hope. Okay? So what could you do in this case? Become more emotionally grounded. That's one thing that any of us can do. Become more emotionally grounded, more in the present moment, more comfortable in your own skin. Build a fulfilling life. Have more interests. The more things that you're interested in, one, the more likely you'll meet women other than online and in real life, and they'll get to see other aspects of you doing something you like or doing something that you're learning to like or learning to do, right? And this can be very fun because then natural moments create themselves, natural humor, natural revealing of ourselves when you're learning something around like-minded people. And then improve communication. As I always say, if you don't have female friends, get female friends. Find women that you want to be friends with. If they're attractive, that's even better. Although you have to go into it, I think, without the idea that, oh, well, eventually, without this ulterior motive, you're going to date them eventually, right? No. But it's nice to be around and comfortable with attractive women. Plus, when they're in your Instagram pictures with you, it gives you some status, some social cred. It all helps. And then develop confidence through action. So take action, ask women out, grow a thicker skin. So if you're ever rejected, and you will be, everybody is, Brad Pitt is going to be rejected. Hey, beautiful women left Brad Pitt. So you're in that company. Beautiful people, beautiful women left and were fed up with and no longer attracted to the most attractive men you can think of. It always happens. So, and then show genuine interest in others. As I always say, again, when you're with a woman, whether it's texting or with them personally, find things that you're curious about in her and ask those questions. Get to know her, ask some open-ended questions and just sort of find out, more about this human being and go into it without the ulterior motive of, I want to have sex with her, right? Throw sex out the window because especially if you're on a date, that's both of your end goal, right? You're both into it for that. So don't be thinking and pushing and talking about sex because it makes you look young. It makes you look inexperienced. Be on the date as though you don't need it, as though you're getting enough of it anyway, as though you've been there before, right? So just have some control, enjoy this human being, knowing that you're both into it, so that'll happen eventually. Don't worry about it yet. You've got time. So just show genuine interest. Focus on becoming someone who's enjoyable to build a life with. She's looking at that. You would look at, if you're looking for a long-term relationship, you're looking, would I like to spend the rest of my life with her? Not just someone who's getting more matches. So it's not about matches. It's about what might a future look like with her. Don't think that on the first date, but that's what you're all eventually going toward. The first date is just have fun. Slowly get to know them until maybe make it into a second date, then a third and a fourth, and gradually feelings start happening. That's what you want to do because the goal isn't to become the most impressive man online. You might think that, but then you're kind of into it for the wrong reasons. It's to become the kind of man that someone feels safe and excited about and happy to build a future with. That's who you want to be. And you do as best as you can with the profiles you're creating. You do the best you can in person when you're meeting them and gradually on these dates. Be a man that has integrity, that's grounded, that's dependable, that's honest, that's trustworthy. trustworthy, that's kind to all people. You're kind when no one is looking, as they say. Okay? And yes, try to look the best you can. Try to be in shape. Try to have your financial situation the best it can be. If you're saying, "Oh, all men want, all women want tall men who are wealthy." Well, if you're not super tall, there's nothing you can do about it, and just let that go. You're not going to meet the women who absolutely deal breaker if you're not tall. You're just not going to meet them. And as far as wealthy, just be excellent in whatever you do. If you're motivated and you enjoy what you do and you're making it a decent enough living to support yourself and have some fun, maybe invest in a few things and build a future for yourself and then eventually somebody else, for most women, this is going to be great. This is going to be great and you're going to be fine. If you found this video valuable, please like it, share, follow me, and I will see you on the next video.